Good day. In this video, I'll be talking about conjugates of complex numbers. Amen. How you are going to simplify conjugates of complex numbers. Is that clear? Just follow me. Make sure you share this video to help a friend so that your friend will appreciate you. And at the same time, you will appreciate my work. Is that clear? Thank you, and God bless you. Okay, let's look at conjugates of complex numbers. Complex numbers. Amen. Okay. Yes. When we say conjugate of complex numbers, let us first know the meaning of conjugates. You know, conjugates is denoted this way. Since we are talking about complex number, let's use Z. Amen. This means Z conjugates. This is the notation of conjugate, a complex number. Is that clear? So sometimes you'll be given, if we are talking about complex number, since we are talking about complex number, it will be in this form: a plus ib conjugates. So this is known as conjugate of complex number. Okay, so we are going to fix idea with one example. Is that clear? Example, evaluate, amen, evaluate 3 plus 2i conjugate. Amen. So let's write solution. Evaluate 3 plus 2i, solution 3 plus 2i conjugate. This is equals to, it means if you want to conjugate complex number, what you will first consider is the number here. Is it a complex number? You ask yourself, what do I mean by a complex number? You know, a complex number is always of this one, a plus ib, or x plus iy. These are complex numbers. And as you look at this value, you discover that this is a complex number, true or false. Since, because of this 3 plus 2i, since it is a complex number, if you want to conjugate 3 plus 2i, it means consider the operation in between 3 and 2i. Mind you, in the other video, I tried to explain this a plus ib. I said we call this a real part, amen, and we call this ib as imaginary part. Please take note. Is that clear? Imaginary part. In the other video, I mentioned it. So you discover that in between the real parts and the imaginary part, the operation in between them is plus. Then the opposite of plus is what? Minus. True or false? So the answer here is what? 3 minus 2i. Is this difficult? This is the answer. So whenever you are asked to evaluate something of this form, it means what you will first consider is the operation in between the real part and the imaginary part. Is that clear? Now, we are going to look at addition of conjugates. Is that clear? addition of conjugates of complex numbers. Amen. Okay, let's look at addition of conjugates. Okay, let's fix idea with one example. It is not difficult. The way you add 1 plus 2 plus 3, is that clear? That is the same way you are going to add addition of conjugate of complex number. Okay, let's fix idea with this example. Example, assuming you are asked to evaluate, amen, evaluate 3 plus 2i conjugate plus 5 plus 3i conjugate. Amen. Let's look at this idiot. Let's find solution. Solution. Our 3 plus 2i conjugate plus 5 plus 3i conjugate. Amen. Okay. Now, let's look at this problem. You know how to conjugate complex number. When you look at this is a complex number. You look at it, this is a complex number. True or false? But the operation in between them is what? Plus. That is why addition of conjugates of complex number. So now, what you need to do, you conjugate this value, this complex number. So if you conjugate this complex number, the in between the real part and the imaginary part is what? Plus. So here we now be 3 minus 2i. What do we have here? Plus. The in between the real part and the imaginary part is what? Minus. So if you conjugate this complex number, here will be 5 minus what? 3i. Amen. So now at this point, you collect like terms. You know your real part here, and you also know your real part here. You know your imaginary part here, you also know your imaginary part here. True or false? So what you are going to do is 3 plus 5. Then what do we have here? Minus 2i minus 3i. Amen. So this is equals to 3 plus 5 will give us 8. True or false? It will give us 8. Then minus 2i minus 3i will now give us minus 5i. This is how to obtain this kind of problem. Please, I will advise you to share this video to your friend, help your friend. Thank you and God bless you.